So the tent comes in a nice, fairly compact package with the pegs stored on the outside. What I don't like about this is there's a lot of baggy space in the bag, which means it is good in terms of being able to stick it back in the sack really easily. However, it means that it's not quite as packable as some of the bags due to no compression straps or anything like that on the actual sack for the tent. So it'd be nice if they incorporated some of those into the design. So this is the tent, just with the inner skin pitched. Again, it looks as though so far that this tent doesn't pitch as one. It might just be the fact that it's just because it's the first time being pitched. However, it looks to me like it's been designed to be pitched in the first, which in bad weather conditions, it really isn't ideal. Also, the materials on this tent are really, really nice. The quality seems really nice. However, it doesn't seem quite as well designed and as well thought out as your bigger brands like your Falraven, your Healybergs, even stuff like your Vorday and North Face tents. It just doesn't quite seem the same sort of quality, which is a bit of a disappointment with this tent considering the price tag that it carries. So you can see inside the tent now, very, very narrow, and I would say fairly tall, but it's not. This is a very, very small one-person tent. I mean, it's quite long, so you've definitely got enough room for your bags around the outside. But look at all this wasted space down the side. It could have zipped here and a footprint that connected to the outer to give you much more room, and it's just a lot of wasted space. You can see it's quite baggy in here as well. This is fully adjusted to as taut as it goes. It's just very baggy. The inside is not great of this tent. I will say this, that the seam sealant is done very, very well and to a high quality. And everything in here is nice. The floor itself is quite a nice bit of material. And again, it just to show you the sort of imperfect designs in this tent is that you've got this massive hole here that goes down here, no mesh or anything like that. It clips together with Velcro, so you can put it down like that. It's just a stupid way of doing it. What an awful bit of design. Put a zip there or something like that. It's a nice idea, but it's been executed so poorly. These again are supposed to fit around the poles, and you can see that it's quite far away and it's quite hard to attach, especially when it's pitches in a first. So yeah, this tent is a big disappointment in my opinion for the price you pay for it. Again, it's well designed, but the actual finished result is not ideal. So we turn our attention back to the outside. You can see here that this is supposed to sit on top of here, and it doesn't. And again, you might say I've got it pitched too taut, but you can see here it is still quite baggy and not taut very well. So the overall design of how this connects to the poles, again, you can see really isn't ideal. It does stay quite taut by how much pegs you've got out. But yeah, you can see here as well, it has been quite stretched quite a lot way to try and get it taut, which means that it doesn't sit properly on the actual poles of the tent. So it's a nice looking tent. I think once it's guyed out, it'd be very, very good in the wind. However, for the price, I wouldn't recommend this tent. You can get far better designed tents for the money, and my overall advice for this is to avoid it and find something that's much more well designed and much more well put together than this. So very strangely, this tent comes with 3 different types of pegs in the bag, and you need all of them and a couple more, so it doesn't really come with enough pegs either. But yeah, you can see it comes with 3 different types of pegs, and if I'm being honest with you, all of these I wouldn't recommend. This one here is probably your best peg. It goes in the ground. When it's in the ground, it stays in there quite nicely. However, it is quite tricky to get in the ground. Also, there's no hole at the top to thread some rope through, so when it's in the ground, it's very, very hard to get out. Again, this one here is made out of the most flimsiest bendy plastic. You can see this has been pitched once, and you can see how bent this peg already is. Really, really sort of cheap and nasty peg. Again, you should get something way better quality than this on the price of this tent. Absolutely disgraceful. You can see here, again, you've got basically a thicker version of the same peg. Again, it doesn't stay in the ground very well, and also it's very, very tricky to get out of the ground. It doesn't really hold anything very well. Yeah, you expect better. These are not great at all. Again, it goes in there. Once it's in there, it just doesn't stay very well at all. So really, really not ideal.